Oh, I think is my video just gone. Oh, I'm going to keep doing it now just in case. So another thing I would like to highlight is the notice of intent. Sorry, I didn't finish what I was saying. I got distracted then by my notification coming up saying that my memory's maxed out. So the second time I went in, when they took me from my home and they arrested me, they put me in the cell overnight and then took me straight to the courts in the morning. But yeah, they did exactly the same again. They said, "Oh no, we'll issue a warrant for you." I said, "Well, why? You know, why are they issuing another warrant when I've just dealt with it? I've been here. They've unlocked the box and let me out again." It's because they generate revenue from every time. Either that, or I was doing something right. There might have been something there which was just, it was not enabling them to proceed in the way they wanted to. So maybe they were at kind of a catch-22 with what I was doing. So in the end, so this was about how many years ago? 4 years ago now. I think after a long time, I ended up going to Crown Court for a completely separate offence, which it was actually a criminal jurisdiction, and I ended up getting shafted with everything that I'd worked so hard and so relentlessly to, correct my status and operate in the correct capacity. Unfortunately, because it was a criminal jurisdiction, they did as they pleased, which they had every right to, and then they slapped on all the legal charges. They're ones that were waiting in limbo, that they had all these warrants for that they couldn't actually administrate because I hadn't given them maybe the full amount of joinder that they needed. So then that did eventually get put on a record because of a criminal jurisdiction that they had consent for. So that was where I stood there. Since then, I'll tell you what, let me just go through the notices of intent that I did actually send. Bear with me. Sorry, guys, you've just been staring at a blank screen there. So my notice of intent, I don't know if you guys can read that clearly, but what I will do is I will just scroll down and you can pause the screen. So if you pause it there, have a read. And then do the same there, pause. And there, pause. And now, okay, so then what I was actually doing was I was signing these with what's called a drawn sword signature. So it was a red thumbprint with a blue signature striking out the thumbprint from bottom left to top right, which is signifies striking out the document. Since then, I've actually learned otherwise, and the drawn sword signature is not the correct. It's not the correct seal to be using. Along my journey since this time, I have learned a great deal of amount. Mainly, a great deal of amount? Did that even make sense? I have learned a great deal. So I've learned how to set up my own courts of record. I've learned parse, syntax, grammar to a level of being able to disqualify documents and take control of my contracts. I've learned how to set up my own postal courts and my own courts of record that go with that. I've become a postmaster and a postal judge with a live claim that has been filed, and using the correct sentence structure. With this method, you can there's no need to end up going into their games and their tricks and traps and going into their courtrooms and their settings. You can handle you can manage the situation before it gets there, essentially. So I was, when I left off with all this, I was last in the process of creating my seal. So that's where I kind of, I guess if you will, just took a bit of a break from it all. It does get a bit overwhelming. if any of you have got any questions about my journey, or you know, maybe who to reach out to, or just anything in general that you might need any help with, I mean, I'd be happy to help you along the way. But I want to make it very clear, I am not a legal or lawful advisor in any way. I purely do this out of my own passions, hobbies, and circumstances. Obviously, what I do has fitted my needs in life, and I've learned what I needed to for my circumstances. So, you know, I hope that's cleared up whatever questions you may have about the video. Yeah, thank you very much, guys.